I am Tom Minahan. I'm an emergency physician. I'm a father of 4, and I have a 11-year-old daughter with intractable epilepsy. My daughter Mallory started suffering seizures at 14 months old. We put her on a medication at that age. In the last 10 years, she's been on 12 different medications. We have no true knowledge of how much damage her brain has had from all these different drugs in her system. Granted, some people take 1 or 2 of those medications and do fine. They take it the rest of their life. They have no more seizures. They do great in life. It works for some people, but for some it doesn't. And those that it doesn't, a parent wants to keep searching. I remember one morning we started on a medication. She'd been on it for about 3 weeks. She comes down the steps and she's sitting there and she's trembling like an alcoholic in withdrawal. And it was the new medication. As your dad and the doctor at the same time sitting there looking, she's seizing. What can I do? You know, I can be angry, and be frustrated, be disappointed, feel like I'm a failure. Is she a failure? All kinds of emotions. You just sit and you write it out, try to distract yourself. She'll cease for about a minute and it'll be over. Then try to get her to sleep. And then think, how can I prevent the next one? And then the next one. So a cousin of mine says, you got to watch this special on TV about marijuana and kids with epilepsy. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm an ER doctor. Marijuana is used by everybody practically, as far as I know, to get high. I get it. People get high, I get it. So he says, watch this special. So when you see this video of a kid in Colorado, and you start researching it, and you hear about this guy up in Modesto, and this kid over in Glendale, and it's like, wow, there's a lot more kids out there doing this. What do I got to lose? I've got nothing to lose. Because at this point, 30 to 40 a month is not functional with a kid who's going to grow up and be independent by any means. So recently we go see our specialist, probably the world-renowned specialist when it comes to this type of treatment in epilepsy, and he says you could try this one new medication, or you could try cannabis. He says, but cannabis you can't use, I'm not allowed to prescribe it, not in my state. It's not in California. And so we end up looking at this other medication. Medication causes death by shutting down your bone marrow. So you have to have blood drawn every 2 to 4 weeks. So let me see. I'm going to take my 11-year-old kid, I'm going to take her to the lab every 2 to 4 weeks to watch her blood, make sure it doesn't change and she's not going to die on me from this medication. Or try something that is safe. It may not work, but what I got to lose? Trying to find the medication was a disaster. So I'm a physician. Can I have my daughter on weed? Does she smoke it? I didn't know. I honestly didn't know when someone said marijuana and epilepsy. I'm like, I'm not gonna have my 11-year-old smoke. So I went and looked at it, and it's an oil. How simple, okay. Now how do you get it? You can't get it. You have to be a resident of Colorado to get this special strain. So what's the next best thing? So I'll put my daughter on a medication, but if I can't get that medication, can I find the next best medication? And that's what we're doing. So we look around, we try to find the next best medication. So you get the referral from the doctor, and the physician says, here, go to this collective, which is people who grow, and they put all their plants together and they make different strains or oils. So we take the oil and we give it to Mallory. It shows up in the mail, give it to her. Amazing results. We had her homeschooled. We were paying a private tutor to come in and do schooling because she had missed so much school from the seizures. So she's now back into school. She's more alert. People who saw her like on a once-a-week basis showed up to the house and said, there's something different. I don't know what you're doing, but something's different. And there definitely was something different, and she's a different kid. It's like this kid is awake again. There is something there. I think the science is quite not there yet where we don't know the details of it. It may be 10, 20 years till we truly know. And some physicians won't listen to you unless there's some major study. But when it's your own kid, you want to wait 5, 10 years for the studies to come out, or you want your kid seized another 1,000 times that next 5, 10 years? For me, the answer was simple.